everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Love Bites Live with me, Jyotsna Ramachandran. And here we have Dr. Girish Kumar. He's the founder and Chief Healing Officer at Human Connect.
Hi, welcome all for this new episode. So I welcome Jyotsna, my wife, to be a part of it. She is the CEO of Human Connect.
This week we have a very interesting topic, Girish. This is, I think, one of the top complaints that we
Yes.
hear from most married people about the problems they have with their in laws. So today we are going to be talking about how to save your relationship from your toxic in laws.
Yes. So as Jyotsna told, so many people are talking about this topic here very powerfully, and I want you to understand that no one is same. So each people are different. Our life is in our hand. So keeping that in the base of energy and the love is what it is going to be a part of this discussion, what I am Jyotsna is going to say. So nothing to take so personally because the topic is so sensitive. So I want you, everyone who is watching this video, to understand where we are standing in terms of this relationship, because this relationship is a beautiful relationship, that is in-laws relationships. So people who understand this, they will have a beautiful relationship with the in-laws. People who don't understand this, yes, it's pain. So let's us see how the beautiful people are taking this thing and how that painful people are taking this. But the end of the session, I and Jyotsna promise that you will have a clear idea where you are standing it and how you can take this to the next level of happiness and love.
Absolutely. So, Girish, before we start, let's just get a confirmation if all of you are able to hear us and see us properly. Just give us an okay in the comments so that we know that you can hear us and see us. Please go ahead and do
Yes.
that. Yes, we have people who are still tuning in. So, I think the first thing that we need to remember, Girish, that if your relationship is bad with your spouse and your in laws are also a cause of concern, then the human tendency is to connect the two. And we think that my relationship with my spouse is bad because of my problematic in laws. However, I
Yes.
think we shouldn't connect the two. uh, However toxic your in-laws are, if your relationship with your spouse is strong, it is very easy to deal with the in-laws part of it. But if fundamentally your relationship with your spouse is not strong, then whatever your in-laws do is going to make the things worse for you. So I think the focus should be to first improve your foundational relationship with your partner, so that together as a couple you can discuss these things with your in-laws.
Yes. So that's why when I started, I told that the base is love, love, and love.
Mm.
So once the love is not clear or the boundaries are not clear as a couple, then only this topic itself is comes to a place,
Yeah.
that a toxic in-laws. So if our love as a spouse, husband and wife, their love and the boundaries are very strong, anything that an external factor is there,
Yeah.
it cannot affect this
Mm.
relationship. That's
In
why I.
the last few episodes, we were talking about extramarital relationships, how to deal with all of that. I think this is similar to that, right? Like when your relationship is strong, no external factor, whether it's your in-laws, whether it's a third person, nothing can affect that. So, guys, if you have not seen that video, please go to our YouTube channel. We'll have later the
Yes.
link somewhere. Please check out those episodes if that is one of the things that is bothering you, another person affecting your relationship. But today, let's come back to the topic of
Yeah.
in-laws.
So as I told, base is the love for this topic. So see this episode with love and see that how this episode can heal people who have been wounded. Because
Mm.
mostly I had seen by doing this relationship coaching and healing all these things, I see most of the people coming here is wound
Yeah.
with in-laws. So I want you to understand that this next 30 minutes you are with us, not to blame yourself and not to blame others. See that how you can bring solution to your life and be strong in that.
Sure.
So for that, I want you to understand that is called an energy circle in
Mm.
our life, whether you are married or not. I want you to understand. So people who want to get married, have this formula in your life so that you can be so powerful in any relationship that it is. For example, you are the most important person in your life, and you take a small circle and put your name there. Okay. Second, if you're married, second, put one more circle and
Around it.
around it and write your spouse name. Okay. Third circle, right? If you have children, then mark your children there. Clear? Third is your children. Fourth circle, draw. Put your parents and in-laws on the same surface. So you should see them equally. If you want to have an awesome, beautiful relationship, okay, for them only this thing. If you think that no, I cannot see my father and mother and my in-laws as same, so this does not work for you. Okay, now you decide. So if you want to a happy married life, use this formula. Then comes your siblings and your spouse siblings. Okay, treat them equally. Don't see that it's mine, it's there. See that God is giving one more sibling in your life. God is seeing one more father and mother in your life. So see in that. Then comes your friends and relatives in that circle. Okay, the well wisher, all those things, and find then your colleagues, well wisher, every
Yeah.
comes in next circle.
Afterwards.
The final circle is your gurus, your mentors, all will be the outer circle. Okay. They come to your life when there's a problem and they go out of when you are fine. Okay. So keep everyone at that space. Don't change this order. If you change this order, you don't get peace of mind. So this is called energy circle. Again, I will repeat it. First is you in the center, then your spouse, then your children, then your father, mother, and in laws. Next circle is your siblings and your spouse siblings, then friends and relatives, and well wishers and the colleagues. Then finally, the circle is your mentors, your gurus, whatever you help you get it, because it is kept in outside, so that you have know that when the crisis you will take them, and then after that you will take. But the respect and love should be there for. If this order is changed, you will have problem in your relationship and you will find fault in so many places. But once you are married and you are being in the same roof, common problem is in-laws.
Yeah.
That's what we see here more.
In fact, I want you guys to do a small activity. While you're listening to this, take two pieces of paper. One is for yourself, give the other paper to your spouse. Now, if your spouse is not with you, they're not listening to this, explain this concept to them later. They should know how an energy circle should ideally function. So, what Girish explained is the ideal scenario. If you follow that, your life will be like at the
Yes.
optimal level of happiness. So now you need to do a self check. Okay, do a self test. Currently, how does your energy circle look like?
Yes.
Are you the most important person? Are you in the
Good.
center, or is your best
So
friend in the
it's
center?
yeah, it's a reality check for you that how your energy circle is.
Yeah, do it and see, and make your partner also do it and see. If you both are not following this order, or one of you is not following this ideal order, then definitely it's a recipe for disaster, and you will have issues with your in-laws. So it's not necessary that they need to be some toxic people. If this order gets mismatched here and there, even if they are amazing people, there will be problems. Now let's look at a scenario where genuinely your in-laws are toxic. So we are going to give you some
It's how
pointers.
it is genuinely toxic. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
because sometimes they may be nice people, but you have a problem with them, right? That's a different thing. That's because your energy circle is not right. Maybe your partner or you is keeping your in-laws too close instead of keeping at them at the right circle. But
So-
now there is a scenario where they are toxic people. They need to be handled
Okay.
differently. So for that, let's understand what we mean by toxic in-laws. Okay, so we're going to tell you some symptoms. See if one or more of these are there in your life.
So maybe the first symptoms is that they take too much space from you, from not allowing you to spend with your partner. They will interfere in your day-to activities life and take lot of space, lot of time from you.
Yeah.
This is the first thing that
Mm.
usually happens.
Even if they are not in your city or in your own house, they may call you and speak for 2 hours in every day. That is taking too much of your time. And
Mm.
taking your space is also, like, physically also, mentally also, taking your space is also something you need to watch out for. The other thing is, I feel, when you are able to see that they're really jealous with your close proximity with your own spouse, and this is typically there because they feel threatened that you are taking a very important role in their son or daughter's life, which is why they immediately get jealous and they try to create
Yes.
problems between the two of you because of that jealousy.
Then it will be like they come and interfere in all the decisions that you
Mm.
both are making. So they will come and advise too much. But I always feel that they have the rights to tell what is that, but you both should have the final decision
Yeah,
and never allow them to interfere in every decision of your life.
yeah, exactly. If they're interfering, it only means that
They are
you have given the space, right?
space.
Yeah. So it could be small things like what to make for dinner. It could be big things like where to buy your house. But any interference is, if it becomes too much, it can be toxic. The other thing that you may notice is they may try to manipulate whatever you speak and represent that very differently when to others. Like, they may put all the blame on you for what you've not done, or they may call up their other child and,
Relative.
tell that, oh, you know what, she did this, he did that. So bad mouthing about you, all
Yeah,
that falls under toxic.
this is a clear evidence. Okay, so all other things which we are told, it's maybe you have the marginal here and there, whether they're toxic on this. But this one point, what Georgina told, it's a clear evidence that your in-laws are toxic. So there is no thinking twice about it. So you should be alert about it.
Yeah.
And next point, it's like abuse, verbal abuse, sometimes physical abuse will be there. So emotionally they blackmail us.
Mm.
So all these things
That's
are,
also like a clear
yeah,
sign.
it's in the last 2 point which we told is like a 24 karat. It's like you, if you are not alert at this time also, then something is going to be a big
Yeah.
disaster in your relationship. So these are the symptoms. Okay,
Yeah. Of
yeah,
a toxic
symptoms of the toxic
in-laws.
in-laws.
Now let's look at the solution. Now
Mm.
you can't give away the power of your life to your in-laws, right? You need to be happy. You deserve to be happy. So we are going to give you two sets of steps, okay? Depending on how your relationship is currently with your partner. Now let's say you have a nice partner who is supportive, but the main problem is because of your in-laws. In that case, okay, so the steps that we're going to tell right now are for people who have a supportive partner.
Mm. So yeah, so it is correct. So sometimes partner may be supportive. Some cases partner will not be supportive. Good, Jyotsna, that you are
Yeah.
breaking into
Partner may be more toxic than the in-laws also then. So that's a
even that
different
that is
set.
a different
So we
story.
are going
That
to talk
will,
about that
yeah,
also towards the end. But now let's get started with the steps for what can you do if your partner is willing to give you that support.
yes.
Go ahead, Girish.
First, I personally believe that if they feel that is my mother or father is toxic, or his mother or father is toxic, you should see that you both are in the same side of your court. Okay, you cannot stand in the opposite side and lead your life because the relationship is being in the same court. If this can be done, anything is happening in your life, nothing will shake you both.
Yeah.
So this is the first step that you should see that which side you both are.
Yeah. So when if you both are playing like a tennis match and you both are on the same side of the court, you'll obviously discuss your next step and
Oh,
strategy,
next
everything,
move
right?
very
Yeah. So
closely.
likewise, you need to communicate all the problems you have with your in-laws, because sometimes they may behave in front of your partner very differently, and when they are not there very differently, right? So all that information should be shared with your partner, because now you need their support to come out of this. So firstly, believe that you both are in the same side of the court and let your partner know what is happening.
Yes.
I think the next step, Girish, is instead of you going and addressing this to your in-laws, there is a better chance to solve this if your partner can address
Yes, in-laws. Yeah,
the
correct.
insecurities that your in-laws have. because mostly we believe like a person is not like 100% bad all the time. Their actions are bad because of their own
Insecurities,
insecurities and um, their past trauma, because of
traumas.
so many reasons, right? And your partner will be able to address these things in a better way than you. So it'll be better if your partner can go and address this and understand why are they feeling insecure, why are they feeling jealous. They should give the assurance that, you know what, mom, I went for a movie with my wife, that doesn't mean I don't love you. So that kind of communication should be going from the partner to their parents.
So it is a healthy communication with lots of love, lot of respect. Even though they are toxic, they should handle it very much with love. So here
Mm.
again, whatever I and Jyotsna is saying, all is love, love, and love.
Yeah, exactly.
Then next thing, it should be healthy boundaries. So
Mm.
the spouse should see that the father and mother is not crossing the boundaries. So we should create boundaries. It's not to keep them away, it to have a very good understanding in the relationship. And relationship is all about the space we give. The space cannot be taken from others so easily. That's why that is a healthy boundaries, I'm saying. Healthy boundaries always make the relationship stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. So, whether that is deciding on which days you will
Small,
cook or
yeah.
your mom-in-law will cook, all these small things, you can,
If you're
yeah,
together,
yeah. Or, you may,
buying
right
some
now you may be
house.
together, but if you feel that together it's a better decision to live in two different houses in the same city, or those kind of decisions need to be discussed with your parents-in-law, ideally by your spouse. So it's better that you take your spouse in your side of the court, let them uh, discuss these insecurities with your parents-in-law, and let them also create this healthy set of boundaries so that on a daily basis you're not stressed by your
Mhm.
in-laws.
So even small things where you are going for your vacation, or big decisions like buying the house
Mm.
or putting in a FD, all those things you can discuss with your parents, but the final decision should be with your spouse.
Yeah.
And when the spouse is saying something, then don't go again to your parents and put a thing. So make it neat and clean, that everyone have a healthy stay in what we are doing.
Yeah. I think we should talk about the incident that we had when we initially got married. So first of all, I have this amazing mother-in-law,
Okay.
which I am, so connected to. However, she never was toxic to me and in from any angle. But initially, when we got married, she used to internally feel bad that I'm not cooking, right? Because I
Okay.
have never
Yes.
entered the kitchen, I didn't cook. So she used to, on her own, feel bad. And Girish identified that she was feeling bad. She never vocalized it. She never told me anything. But Girish felt that internally she was feeling bad. Now, instead of me going and
Okay.
addressing that issue, what
Mhm.
Girish did is he took the initiative of going
Yes.
and talking to her and explaining that she doesn't have to feel bad because he didn't marry me because of my cooking skills, right? Because that is what typically
Most
traditionally
of the,
parents
yes,
expect.
yes, yeah.
So
Okay,
you made
so
it really very clear to
okay,
her.
I will tell this
Yeah,
thing.
that's better that you tell it. Yeah.
Yeah, so when we got married, my mother is so loving, caring, all these things, but she felt that Jyotsna is not cooking for me, or Jyotsna is not seeing that what I'm eating and all these things. But we know each other and what space we are seeing in this relationship, and we have support system for everything. We have three maids, babysitter, everything. In our totally five people are there in our house to take care of everything. So from that time, I sat with her and explained what is why I married her, what I'm looking at, what is my life with her. So all these things, when she was cleared, next day morning, you don't believe that from whenever she come from Kerala to Chennai, she will make sure that she cooks and give to Jyotsna, and
All my favorite food.
all the favorite food of Kerala food to her. And same way she makes a tea or coffee, which what she wants, she will give her. I never seen one day Jyotsna giving her back for this 13 years, but she never complained after that. So now what I wanted to say that every mother looks like that. If the spouse can talk with lots of love and respect, that they are being treated well by the wife or husband, I don't think this can be
True.
a big disaster
Yeah.
can be eliminated by
Yeah,
both
and
of
it
us.
was this one strong conversation with love that Girish had with his mom. He could have just avoided it. Like usually people avoid
Yes.
conversations, right? He could have just told, "My mom didn't tell you anything, no, so let's just ignore it." If he had
Even
done
my
that,
mother did not tell me also.
yeah, if he had
Uh,
not done that, then for years she would have thought that I'm not a
good,
good
good.
daughter-in-law. I'm not taking
Yes,
care because her way of taking care is cooking.
cooking and
Yeah,
feeding.
feeding. So because she's been conditioned that way, Girish had to take that extra step to break that conditioning and tell that we still love each other. We are very happy together. It's just that we don't cook for each other. That um,
Yes.
conversation you had, and that's why it was
So
possible.
it is. This is where your spouse is supportive. Now we'll take a condition where your spouse is non-supportive.
Yeah.
So what? How to start with it?
So I think before doing anything with your in-laws or dealing with the in-laws, you need to ask yourself if you've been in a relationship with your partner and your in-laws have been toxic for many years or even for a while, and you have been not doing anything about it, then ask yourself, are you benefiting from being with your in-laws or giving them your space in some way or the other? Because we have seen a lot of people who complain about their in-laws for years, but they don't move out of that house. They don't do anything about it because they know that somewhere they're getting
Benefit.
benefited. Like if you're going to work, maybe your in-laws are taking care of your kids. Maybe your in-laws are cooking for you. Maybe you are under their roof. You don't have the financial means to have a separate house. So because of various benefits you're enjoying indirectly, you are just tolerating all the problems that they are creating. So in that case, you need to ask yourself, are the benefits more or are the problems more? If the benefits are more, I think you need to just live with it because you are getting benefited in some way or the other. But if you are feeling that no, I can't be in this toxic environment, then you need to take back the control of your life. You need to take responsibility, whether it's the time or space or money, whatever benefit you're getting from your in-laws. You need to see how else can you take support from other people and get that,
Yes.
and not depend on them, because till the time you're dependent on them, you will be complaining for the rest of your life and you will behave like a victim. So first step, stop being a victim. Don't be with them just for the benefits.
Yes. For that, you should first straight away stop arguing with them. So I had seen so many people abusing each other, arguing very powerfully. So see that first step, as Jyotsna told, when this you understand the reality of why you are getting that, stop arguing, take action, cut off emotionally from them, and see that how you should protect. Because I had seen so many people going to depression when the spouse is not supporting. They chances of going to depression is very much high because they are constantly vibrating in low frequency. They're
Yeah.
constantly their energy is low and they are not loving. Because of that, they don't love the spouse also.
Exactly. Yeah. The other important thing is, please don't go and try to change them. That is not at all your job, right? Okay, my in-laws are doing this and doing that. Let me see if I can talk to some relative and make them talk to them and change them. All that is not going to happen. If they are toxic, either your spouse should talk to them. But if your spouse is not supportive, it is not your job to go and heal them, because why they are abusive or creating problems, it's because of all their unhealed wounds, and it is not your job to go and heal all of that, because firstly you need to protect yourself. So don't waste your time trying to correct them or make them better.
So it is like, as Jyotsna told, first heal yourself.
Mm.
Once you are healed, then see that how you can do good things for others. You cannot just leave them like that and go. So see that, take your time, take that energy. First, when you are strong, yes, then see that. Before that, you should feel that you should be healed from the toxicity, because I had seen that when the people after 2 years or 3 years of marriage, they totally shift. They have forgot the love energy. Why they got married? They are only having lot of revenge, lot of fear, lot of anger to that energy. What they are into it.
Yeah, very true. The other important thing is, don't give away your power to them, because currently they are controlling different aspects of your life, right? So now you need to see how you can be
Yes.
powerful and reduce the amount of time you spend with them, right? So it's very important to limit your exposure to them. So
Yes.
maybe you're working from home, and throughout the day you're hearing all kinds of things from them. Instead, take your power and find a co-working space or some other place where you can work from. So at least 8 hours of your day, when you're awake, you're away from them, right? Because see, if your partner is supportive, it's easy to move out of the house. But if your partner is not supportive, then you need to see how can you create opportunities to reduce your exposure to your in-laws.
So, final thing that we should always see that we should respect our in-laws. Don't give away the power to them.
Mm.
Respect and give love because they gave the birth to our spouse. So always understand that they are the roots of your spouse. So it's your duty to see that you also have the better terms with them. So if you are wound, or if you are fighting a lot of energy mismatch because of that, please make sure that you are healed first. You
Mm.
have taken enough step to come out of it. Because if you have this, when your son or your daughter grows, we will also have the same pattern which we undergone. So
Right.
that's where this thing is carried generation after generation, generation of generation. No one is ready to cut. But here I welcome you all to look into that we are not influenced by our in-laws, and we don't take that hurt and go forward for next 20-25 years
Mm.
and repeat the same thing.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, you might have got hurt in many ways over
Yes,
the years. So now
we
it's
should
time for you to heal
heal.
yourself.
Yes,
Seek the help of a professional healer. If you,
anywhere.
yeah,
Hmm.
whether you come to Girish or to anybody else, just make sure that you get healed. And once you get healed, then try to
That's
forgive
it.
them. Because if you hold that grudge, then 30 years later, it may show
You
up
will
as some
also,
disease in your
yeah,
body.
and they will also repeat the same thing
Yeah. And
to
that cycle
the
does not
cycle.
break.
Does not break. That's why we see
Mm.
that even after so much people are educated and all those things, but this is happening. So
Yeah.
we cannot deny that fact. It is happening. Maybe people are smiling about it. All this inside the four walls, a lot of dirty things are happening even now in India. So we should see that we should talk about this. That's why I took this topic. We should talk to each other and understand. Oh, you are being treated like that, because most people are does not want to talk about this
Yeah, because they
topic.
are trying to sometimes
Being
protect
good
their family's,
images and
image.
all those things.
Yeah,
It's not nothing to hide. It's the time to discuss and come out of this thing.
yeah. I think one thing we should also add to this, Girish, like, you have decided that your in-laws are toxic and you want to limit your exposure to them. Instead of calling them every day, you want to probably talk to them once a week. You're reducing that time, right? But don't do that to your partner. Don't tell them that your mom did this to me, so you should not talk to your mom.
Yeah,
Because that is one mistake a lot of people make, and that can cause unnecessary problems between you and your spouse. For them, it is their parents, right? So let them have that
correct,
space with their parents, but
correct.
you limit your space.
And once you are being strong, see, when you are good, your environment also will be there, being stronger. So when we are losing the power, only the problem. So I am saying that love them and have the power with you. And then I think there's
Yeah,
nothing to worry. But it's a reflection. Once we are reflect, things will be fine.
yeah.
Yeah. So any questions that you have, or
Uh,
any questions? See, the
Yeah,
people
either
are
you can
asked.
post your questions in the comments below or head over to humanconnect.in/ask Girish. So you'll be able to post your questions there even anonymously. So we are going to go there and check if there are any
Any
questions for
questions so
us.
that we can explain. So people who think that you are not asked any question, you can type fast and ask this question so that we can replay it now. So if my partner is supportive, what
Not
shall
supportive. That's what we covered
so
right
that
now.
we told, if your partner is not supportive, what steps you should take about it.
Yeah, just a couple of more questions here. Um, when you are dealing with them continuously, at some point we will feel like we are losing everything, confidence, relation with husband, loneliness, beauty, everything. How to overcome this situation, because all these things, when it's gone, very difficult to get it back
Okay.
again.
So I understood what you are trying to say, that constantly they are being putting you down, and constantly they are firing you. All these things, understand one thumb rule. Okay, you are married to your spouse, not to the in-laws. If you are clear in that in head, this should not bother you too much. Okay, and whatever you feel that you are not comfortable, I want you to speak to your spouse. Now, the spouse may be supportive, non-supportive. Supportive spouse immediately take action for it. Non-supportive spouse, he will take time, and we should understand that something he is benefiting out of there. That's why he is not opening the mouth. Understand this very blindly. Something he is benefiting. That's why he is not ready to support you. Or the relationship that you both build is not strong. He's saying it's okay, you leave, no, you adjust. That's the words they will use. Understand that if your spouse is using these words, understand that you are not built a strong relationship with your spouse,
Yeah.
and they are benefiting out from their parents, something that is okay with it, or she is okay with it. So make sure that this is not being taken, power is not given away. The love should speak to get these things happen.
Yeah. All right. One last question here. When my in-laws are trying to degrade my family members, how to deal with this?
Okay, so degrading family members, again, it's all our insecurity, and putting others down and getting pleasure straight away, it's a toxic.
Yeah.
So don't go and prove yourself to them. That is not our business itself. Understand that. Again, the same thing only for them. You're married to your spouse. If your spouse is doing that, then that is a different story. If your in-laws is saying that, ask your spouse to deal it. Don't never deal on all those things. Don't try to prove yourself that you are better than them. Never do that. Yes.
Yeah. Great, Girish.
I think other questions we will see in the next
Yeah.
thing.
If you have any other questions
Because
coming
please,
up,
yeah.
between this session and the next session,
So
that
watch
link
the
is always
recording,
open.
yeah, and watch
Yeah.
this recording again so that you get little more clarity when you deal with your in-laws. Okay.
Yeah. Or if you have any friends who are going through
Yes.
problems like this, then please share this video with them. You never know that by just
Whose
sharing
life?
that one video, you're actually supporting someone's life and saving them. So do that. And if you have any questions, the link is right above this video. Go ahead and leave your questions so that next week when Girish and I come live for yet another Love Bites live session, we will address those questions.
Love you all. Thank you for your time. Take care. Bye.
Bye. See you next week.